I don't have any of the books that I'm talking about, but we'll just wing it, okay? Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome to Britt's Book Blog. Today I am just going over my May TBR. I know that it is a little bit late into May, but in my defense, last week was finals week for school, and so I don't even count that week. We just threw that week in the trash, and now we're starting as of today. So if you didn't know, the entire month of May is Asian Heritage Month, and Cindy from Read with Cindy is hosting her annual Asian Readathon. So I think she did this last year. I did not participate last year because I didn't know about it. This year she has made all of the prompts a little bit easier than they were last year, just because some people don't have access to books, you know, during this quarantine, during this time, and stuff like that. So her prompts are rather simple. She said that you can make them as complex or as simple as you want, and there are only 5 prompts. One of them I can't really participate in because I've already read this book. I also have a few extra books that I want to read this month, but my main goal is to finish this Asian Readathon since last month I failed my owls. I think this will be a little redeeming factor, and of course I use a very simple readathon. But I tried to make it as complex as I could. I don't have the physical books yet, but I did order them, and I'm really excited to receive them. I think I get them in tomorrow, actually. So I will have them then. So the first prompt is read a book by an Asian author. That's it. That's as easy. I mean, I have books on my shelf from Asian authors, but I wanted to go a little bit further out and read something I never read before. So for that book, I picked Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I actually read Little Fires Everywhere last month for the owls, and I really liked that book. So I figured I would give her other book a shot. I actually wanted to read this book ever since I saw that Paperback Dreams, read it, and absolutely adored it. So I've been wanting to pick this up for a while. I just haven't really had a reason. So now I have a reason. The summaries that Celeste Ng gives for her books are always so vague. I remember reading the Little Fires Everywhere back, and I was like, this is going to be so boring, but there's so much more stuff that happens in the book. So from what I can gather, Everything I Never Told You is about a Chinese American family, and they're like a very stable, perfect family, and the daughter, who is the favorite, is found dead in a lake. So like the whole family starts to collapse, I mean, obviously, and probably a bunch of stuff happens that we don't know about, because that's what Celeste Ng does. So I'm really excited to read it. I gave 5 stars to Little Fires Everywhere, so I'm really excited to read this book. Prompt number 2 is to read a book by an author or featuring a character of a person that you relate to. So you either relate to the author or you relate to the character in the book. And this one was kind of hard because I didn't want to go as easy as I'm a girl and the character in this book is a girl, or the author is a girl, because that's as easy as you can make it. I wanted something a little more challenging, and I forgot that I had this book on my TBR a long time ago, and I ended up finding it through Goodreads, and that is The Vegetarian by Han Kang. I know this book is not going to be a very fun read. All of the reviews say it's quite depressing, but this woman is becoming a vegetarian, and I am a vegetarian, so I figured that would be the link between us, and I could finally get that book down. I do realize it has a lot of trigger warnings, so I'm going to read it and see, you know, just how it is, which it probably will be. But anyway, that is my relation to the character in this book. Prompt number 3 is almost the same. It is to read a book by an author you don't relate to, or with a character that you don't relate to. So this could be anything, like I'm a girl and he's a guy, or, you know, this, that, whatever. And for that prompt, I chose The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. And this one has a lot of things that I don't relate to. So in the book, the main character is half white, half Taiwanese. So she's mixed, which I am not. The only thing I'm mixed with is caffeine and lots of carbs. Her mother ends up committing suicide, so she goes to Taiwan to meet her grandparents, and she believes that her mom came back as a bird. So she's looking for this bird everywhere. And it seems like a super amazing read. I'm really excited to read it. I feel like I'm going to torture myself this month because it doesn't sound happy. Maybe. I'm sure there's happy parts in it. It just sounds like one of those books that it's gonna probably make me cry. I feel like all of these books are going to make me cry. but it's only 4. Prompt number 4 is to read a book recommended to you by an Asian. So this could be anything. This could be an Asian booktuber. It could be Cindy herself, because she's Vietnamese. It could be just one of your Asian friends. You ask them what kind of books they like and they tell you. So funny enough, I watched this YouTuber. Her name is Jen Im. She's not a booktuber, but she does do some book recommendations every once in a while, which are my favorite videos by her, so that's why I follow her. But she just did 10 books to make the time go by fast in your quarantine. So I'll link everything down below. But one of the books really stood out to me because I was very interested in this book when she talked about it, and she recommended reading Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. Pachinko is a historical fiction which talks about what happened to the Koreans during the Japanese rule, and Jen Im explains how, you know, she relates with this book just because, I mean, she is Korean. She's Korean American, and she said she remembers learning about this in school, and I don't know very much about it, so I'm really interested to read about this and learn more. Even though it's a historical fiction, she did say that it does touch base on a lot of the issues that were relevant and still are relevant in Korea today. It sounds like another book that'll probably make me cry or mad or... May is for spring. May is for happiness, and I'm not going to be happy. Prompt number 5 is the one that I'm not going to do. It's kind of an optional prompt. It's a really interesting prompt. I wish that I had waited, but this is going to be a group book read, and it is the book Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Like I said, I read that just last month, and they're going to do a read-along and a watch-along, so that's going to be so interesting. I have already read and watched. But I don't think I finished the show, so I might wait for them to catch up so I can finish with them. Because the show is on Hulu, and it only comes out once a week. And, like, aren't we past that as a society, this once-a-week thing? I'm used to instant gratification. I would be interested to maybe follow along on the watch-along and see what everyone else thinks, because there are so many differences, and it will be fun to see if people like it or don't like it, because I did not like the show. I love the book. Book is great. So that is it for the Asian Readathon this month. 4 books, super easy. In order to keep up with my Goodreads, I need to read at least 8 books a month, because my goal this year is 100 books, which is insane. I've never read that many books in a year, and I just feel like time is running out. I'm getting older, and I need to read as many books as I possibly can. So I need at least 4 more books to reach my goal. I am a little bit ahead anyway, but I plan on keeping my goal. The first book I wanted to read this month and have already finished is A Star's Sight by Brandon Sanderson. I can't even tell you about it because I'm so upset. So that's been done already, so 1 down, 7 to go. I've actually been buddy reading quite a few books with one of my new friends that I met on Bookstagram, and she and I feel like, have kind of the same issue of getting distracted by other books. So we were supposed to buddy read Crier's War last month together, and I didn't even pick it up last month, and I think she started it, and I think she might be reading something else now. So we might get to this one, we might not. This is like my maybe. We have so many aspirations. We have so many buddy reads that we want to do, and we just... Sometimes books get in the way of books. I don't know. So this is Crier's War by Nina Varela. This one came in an owl crate. I don't know much about it. I kind of wanted to go into it blind. That's my favorite thing about the owl crate books, is they send a little note. And that's usually all I read. I'll read the note from the author about the book, and then I will jump right into the book, just because I like to go in blind. I like to hear what the author says about it instead of like the little synopsis. And I just jump right in, and I have found that that has been the most amazing thing. It's like a surprise. It's super fun. The other book I wanted to read this month, or actually finish this month, is The Martian by Andy Weir. This one I am currently reading. I just didn't finish it last month. And I've seen the movie. Unfortunately, I've already been spoiled, but this story is about a guy named Mark who is now stuck on Mars because they landed on Mars. There was this huge windstorm. It knocked him out, and his friends thought he was dead, so they got... They got on their ship, they flew home, and now he's stuck on Mars trying to figure out how to survive until the next ship comes back to Mars to save him, which is in like 4 years, I think, or 8 years. I don't remember. So this story is told in a series of journal updates, kind of. So it's like he's typing on a computer and he's like, okay, day, blah, blah, blah. This is what happens. But he's almost talking directly to you because you're basically reading his journal. And it is so amazing. It's hilarious. I find it so, I mean, it's terrible, but it's so funny. He does such a good job, and I really enjoy this book. So I'm excited to finish this month. I have a few books that I need to finish this month. That's okay. The next book that I really need to finish is going to be Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I started this for my owls. I never finished it, mostly because of this series. It's been killing me, and now I have to wait 2 years. That's a different story. That's a different story. Anyway, Six of Crows, it's really good. I really like it. It's kind of like a big heist book. So a bunch of kind of weird, it's like a weird group of people come together. They don't really fit together. Some of them do, but some of them don't even get along, and they're trying to pull off this huge heist so they can make all this money. And there's magic and spies and gambling. It's lots of waffles. They talk about waffles a lot. They really like waffles. But it's a really good book. I just got stuck on a different series, and so I'm about halfway through. I've been listening to it. I really like listening to it. It switches back and forth between a few characters, but there's 2 different narrators, I believe. So you kind of get both sides. It's really good, and I need to finish that as well. Lastly, I received a book on my library app, and I've been wanting to read it, and I've been waiting for it forever, so I had to throw it in here. And that is Recursion by Blake Crouch. This one I've been wanting to read for quite some time. It's kind of about memory. A girl, I think, makes this type of program where you can upload your memories and you can relive them anytime you want. So if you have like a super awesome vacation and you want to relive that day, you just go and you relive it, I believe. And something happens, and this disease or this thing is spreading across the nation, attacking memories as well. So it's kind of 2 forces, and it's attacking like past problems. I don't know if it's all intertwined. I'm sure it is, but it just seemed like an interesting read having to do with memory, and I've been wanting to read it for like 3 months, but I've been waiting to get it on my library app, and it finally came through yesterday. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to read that too. Everything is subject to change because I tend to change my mind all the time, but I'm hoping this is what I stick to and I can get that done. I have plenty of time to read all this. I am not in school anymore. Like I said, school is over. I am going back to work, so my quarantine is technically over. I started this week at one of my jobs. They opened back up, and it's been weird. I mean, we have to wear a mask, and so it's a strange thing, but it gives me something else to do. I only work at night, so that's totally fine. I can read during the day. I am currently just waiting until I can fly again, so I'm in school to be a pilot, and I go to a flight school separate from the university to fly airplanes, and they have been closed down because of the quarantine as well. I'm thinking they're not going to open back up until June, so I think this whole month is going to be free for me to do whatever I need to get this all done. So I'm pretty excited for that. I am kind of sad because I miss flying, but maybe they'll open soon. And like I said, I will put everybody that I have talked about down below. So thank you all for watching. Let me know down below what you're reading in May. Let me know if you're doing this Asian readathon, if you have huge goals for May. Let me know also if you're still stuck in quarantine, because we opened back up this week at like half capacity, so it's like open but still in quarantine. It's kind of a weird situation. Let me know what you're doing at home, and I hope everyone stays safe and healthy. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!